Gotta smash that share button. Yeah, man, you gotta deal with this thug life. You gotta get you some of these, man.
What does it say? Oh man, where'd you get those at?
I bought these from Finland when there was only one person selling them, and now they're a cheap thing. I mean, you know what these are?
What is it now?
They're from like a meme where like
Oh
someone
yeah,
does
yeah,
something cool, and then the shades fly in,
yeah.
and like Dr. Dre starts playing, and it says like either Thug Life or Deal with It. And I wanted the shades, so I ordered them. They were like $40 from Finland. Now they're like $9 FBA.
Okay, I know what you're talking about when someone does something wrong and then all of a sudden, boom, Thug Life.
Yeah, and like G Thang starts playing in the background.
Yeah,
dude, that's the weird thing is now like, dude, how old are you?
I'm 28.
All right, so yeah, you're too young. I mean, you know some new Dr. Dre. You know some 2001 Dre maybe, but not the Chronic Dre.
No, I listen to it though. I listen to
it. So the kids way younger than you because that song has been used in the memes, right? Like the hook from G Thang, to where now when kids see the actual music video, they're like, "Hey, that's the song from the meme." Yeah. Like, no, the meme. Like they think the meme is first. Like oh, this is the song that they put in the memes. Like no, the song has been around. Like the memes have nothing to do with the song, but they know it as the meme song instead of as the D-O-double-G. So it's just jumping in. It's just weird. Like culture changes, and different generations see things different, and it's all good.
Chris Green's hopping on the show, punking me already, guys.
Dude, I just turned 40, man. I got to throw it in your face.
Turned 40 in Jamaica, right?
I did, man. Last Friday, nice. It was sweet. But then it makes you think how different the world is now. Like when I was in high school, like playing the Chronic or Doggy Style, like you had to turn it down because it said a bad word, or like Beavis and Butthead was on TV, and I was like, whoa, they said some crazy, and like, dude, the stuff that's on TV now, it's 100 times worse.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just different. It's just different.
Okay, let me see. Let me make sure with this. See if the Merch Dojo link is down below. I know. Soon as like you're getting people were going crazy over the Merch Dojo, and Matt's like, hit up Chris Green, get him on the show, and I was just like, okay, give him a little bit. I'm pretty sure his DMs are going crazy. Give him a little bit. I'm pretty because like my DMs go crazy sometimes too, and you have like a way bigger audience than I do, and I know that your DMs, your everything, your messenger, every single direction.
It don't stop, man. It's all right. Like it's a good problem to have, right? I don't ever want to complain that a bunch of people want to talk to you, but the Merch Dojo has gone really well. Like we stacked it. We absolutely stacked like the bonuses and everything that you get, to where that's probably like the biggest confusion point is trying to explain all that you get with the Merch Dojo. Because it doesn't, you don't want to like oversell it, right? You don't want to like sit there and like talk for 5 minutes about it, and they're like, yeah, okay, cool, I'm in. And you're like, no, you haven't even heard about this. Like, there can get to a point where you're, once like don't sell once it's been sold, right? Once it's sold, you're good. But I want people to know about all this stuff. We keep adding more bonuses, and it's cool because like Merch by Amazon is like evolving, and new stuff is coming out all the time. So there's a program that just got released that I've been working with the creators of because I wanted to use it for me. I got a hold of the creators. They're like a 10-person team overseas, kind of explain merch and all this. And I was like, guys, make it merch compatible. And they're like, okay, yeah. Okay, we get it now. We get it. I was like, good. And they're like, how much should we charge for it? And they're like, go way under charge. I was like, guys, you have a premium product. So like, I helped them kind of get a merch ready. And that, like just this week, it was like ready to go. So Merch Dojo peeps get 2 months of that. Just came out, right? Like, it just keeps everything kind of keeps falling in place like perfectly, which is good, but it ends up being, it can be a little overwhelming at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. So everybody's asking, where's Matt at? He should be coming. I think he had too much wine. It was like he was with Jacob Topping. He had a lot of wine, so I think he said he went to go eat something real fast, and then he'll be on. I think he said he's 2 minutes behind or something.
There he is. I see him.
All right, shh, Matt's here. Be quiet.
All right. Don't
Yo,
say
yo,
nothing
yo.
bad about Matt. There we go. Dude, we all got the real deal headset, man. Like we're playing some professional esports or something.
It's next. So, okay.
Dude,
Matt,
I can
you
get
there?
into esports.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to get into drone racing.
Oh man.
Yeah. Have you ever watched it on TV?
No, I haven't. I'll actually probably watch it on YouTube later on.
Oh, it's crazy, man. I mean, there's little bitty drones. They all have like the first person like viewer. So you're just sitting there with the goggles on, and your
Okay.
drone's whipping around through obstacles and around corners. It's a much different. It's very different drone compared to like the Mavics and the DJI stuff where like you're taking cinematography and pictures. These are like racing, and my little boy's 10.
Mhm.
He wants to get into it. That's what he wants for his birthday is to build his own racing drone. I'm like, perfect. Let's both learn it together. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And
All right. You got me?
Can we hear you?
All right. I can hear you guys now, so we're good to go.
Can you guys see him? Because I'm not seeing him.
I see him in the preview, but not in the big one.
Yeah, I don't
Hold
see him
on.
in the big one.
Hold on. Let me change my camera.
Man, a couple first timers here, man. You're supposed to run a tight ship here.
Oh, this is normal. Get used to this, Chris.
That's
why I
this is
don't
what
do
makes it more
hangouts.
exciting.
That's why I don't do hangouts, man. Like that. Be Live. I like Be Live.
I like Be Live too. This is stupid. What the hell?
It is weird because I see you, or I could see you in the little mini
In the preview, right? Yeah.
mini square. You were there.
No.
Now it's the green car.
All right. Well,
Here, let me send you another link.
Dude, I'm gonna have to crack this open, man.
Go for it. Get it.
I'm gonna
Go for
crack
it.
it open. I'm gonna crack it open on the mic so everybody gets the full effect.
hold on. I will be right back. Let me join again.
Okay, here, let me send you a new link. All right. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that, everyone. If you guys also, too, you guys do me a favor, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, and then also share the video, too, please. Appreciate it.
Call this one hazy, man. Oh, is it gonna fit? Is it perfect? Look at that, man. It's like I know what I'm doing.
Nice.
All right.
There you go.
Yes.
Woohoo!
About time.
Just in time for his first drink.
Oh, I'm already a bottle in, so let's go.
Cheers.
What kind of bottle? What do you got?
Right here.
You drank the whole bottle.
Yeah. That went through probably about 2/3 of the way through the interview.
Dude, I find that I'm like a whole wine bottle kind of guy because I'm a big guy, right? Like I'm 6'5". It's kind of portion control, right? Like a whole one bottle of wine. If I drink that over a couple hours, I'm pretty good. Like I don't need more, don't need less,
100%.
and yeah, it kind of works.
How tall are you, Matt?
6'1".
Oh, okay. All right,
So if
guys
you
are-
want to go get in a fight somewhere, RJ, just bring us with you. You'll be all right.
I am short compared to Chris.
I'll stand in the back.
I'm short compared to Matt and Chris.
Dude, you guys know Jason T. Smith, right?
Yeah, the thrift guy, right?
The thrift guy, eBay. So he's like 6'4", 6'5", bigger than me, scarier looking than me because he's bald with like the foot-long beard, the tats. So like if me and him are in a thrift store, anybody that's with us is like just royalty. Like no one's messing with them if you got me and Jason Smith kind of on both ends of the aisle with you.
Oh man.
I still like thrift stores, man. You can still find something cool. It's a little treasure hunt. I like seeing what I can find.
Intimidation is overrated when it comes to RA. It really is. Like doing book sales and stuff like that. Like when you're going in there and you're actually battling with people, like having the ability to look at somebody and go, "No, this is my spot. Go away."
That is a skill that can be worth a lot of money.
100%.
Dude, so how long did you do book sales, like the scanning and all that?
We did it for like 3 months. So we did it like right up until our wedding. And then after our wedding, my wife was like, no more. I'm not doing this anymore. And I was like, all right, I can see the point. And that's when we found merch. And I was like, okay, this makes a whole lot more sense.
Well, dude, I bet you don't know some of the worst scanner, just dirty tricks.
Oh, no, there's no way. Like, I wasn't in the game long enough.
Oh, check this out. These are the three. I still remember these are the three absolute worst dirty tricks that book scanners would pull on each other. One, they would bring a straight up cell phone jammer to a book sale.
Right.
So like no one could scan. Like if I can't scan, no one could scan. Like dude, like chill out. Like what if someone has a heart attack? Right. Like we need our phones.
Yeah,
like, you are
important.
breaking the law. Like with your jammer. They would post fake book sales or submit fake book sales that would look awesome on Book Sale Finder.
Right.
So that their competitors would go to those and waste their time. Well, they went to the one that like looked pretty sweet. Pretty dirty, but you can really only get away with that like once.
Right.
This was the most diabolical. The last one's the most diabolical trick that they would pull, because most barcode scanners, when people were using, the Windows mobile devices and even the Bluetooth scanners, people use their phones now more. But they have a major security flaw in the fact that they're programmed by barcode, right? So to program your scanner, you scan a barcode and put it in programming mode, scan 3 numbers, and then end programming and all this. They would like find some books and put barcode stickers that would enter your scanner into programming mode on the back of a book. So when you pick that up and put it in programming mode, now you have no
your scanner, right? Yeah.
Scanner's dead. Because you didn't bring your end programming mode scanner book, like manual, you're stuck and you're like, unbelievable. Like that is some diabolical stuff. Like if I ever caught someone doing that, like, I would out them publicly. Like public shaming. Like there's only one way to deal with it.
Right.
That's just but that's some nasty, and that we can tie that into merch, because that's a very like small kind of view of everything, to be like, hey, there's only so much here. We're all gonna fight over it. And it got better with FBA, where, hey, we can all source different products and all these things, but we're still fighting over the same customers. They're only going to sell so many kitchen utensil sets every month. We still have to fight and be competitors. With merch, we can upload fresh, new Blue Ocean stuff. We make the pie bigger with every upload. It's not this like nasty competitive, like the bookseller mentality versus the merch mentality. I mean, the only problem with merch is so many people complain. Like they don't see it for how good it is, so they complain. But at least we're not stabbing each other in the back like booksellers do, like literally stabbing each other in the back and pushing you over to get to a box of books.
All right, so let's start off with our first our last 7 days. That's how we started off.
Okay, let me open it up real quick.
Okay.
Sorry, I shut everything off because I couldn't get the Be Live to work with Jacob. So give me 1 second.
Okay, so my last 7 days, I'm at 208 shirts sold at $922 in royalties.
I am not there. Chris, go ahead.
I don't even want to log in, man.
All right, no worries.
I've been Merch Dojo only for it feels like more than the week launch. That's for sure.
All right, so last 7 days, I've done 94 shirts for $375, but things are looking up. We are trending up right now. So it appears, at least to me, going off the last couple of days, that things are looking better in terms of search and some other things. So that's positive.
A lot of things are popping up. I have a lot of organic sales. Like I can see like my latest uploads that I uploaded to, or the designs that I uploaded, they've been making sales without any type of like just organic, just keywords. So that's pretty good. And also too, so we started this thing where if you guys are going to send us a shirt, we'll wear it on the actual live. I need to scoot back a little bit.
Hold on. Right there. Let's go.
Boom!
Wow.
Dabbing unicorn pinata. What do you got about that?
Let me see your dab.
Dude, that unicorn has got some mileage. I tell you that. That unicorn has been remixed and remastered like nothing.
I am doing Earth Day.
Earth Day every day. What is that? Is that a make merch design?
No. Actually, someone sent it to me.
Well, they might have made it with make merch.
Oh, they might have. There you go. Also, too, we're gonna have the shirt links in the description down below. So if you guys want to buy a shirt and actually help support them, maybe they're in the lower tiers. I'm not sure. To help them actually get out of the lower tiers to put more designs, of course.
I like that. Dude, that's a great idea, man. I'm gonna steal all these ideas from your show.
Yeah. Okay. So you guys know that we got Chris Green on the show. He's done a lot from FBA to Merch by Amazon. I actually, when I was doing FBA, I came across Merch by Amazon because he said it was free. And by the time I did it, they already started like requesting approval. Like you had to be invited. So It only took me 90 days to get in. It acts like exactly 90 days to get in. And that's when they were just like approving everybody. So I should have actually did it when he first said it because they were like actually approving people like right away. And like
it was
like,
instant.
Boom, instant.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I actually missed that gap by like a day. So when I went to go do it, it was too late. But I did get approved 90 days later. And yeah, basically whenever Chris Green says something, like I would always just hop on it because like if he said do it, I would be doing something else, focusing on something else. And when he said do it, then I just go over there and do it. So.
No, I mean, I think the secret is too, like when Chris says something, like you should really pay attention in terms of like what he's trying to say, right? Like, so when Chris was talking last year in December about how the future of Amazon is not necessarily organic traffic, it might be running traffic to your shirts and everything else. Like that's something I paid attention to a lot of. And it was like, try and translate what Chris is saying because he's trying to drop a hint. He's trying to let you know like what is going on, right? So like I always pay attention to what Chris is saying. You know, there's a lot of people out there that get a little bit overly protective in terms of what is going on with merch, and they think that Chris might promote a little bit too much. But you know what, Chris has, in my opinion at least, Chris has the best interest in heart of everybody else that's out here. Like he tries to let us know as much as possible what merch is telling him. You just got to translate a little bit, like look between the lines and see what he's saying.
That's entirely right. And guys, it's not a secret that I've been in and around Amazon for so long that you get to know a lot of people at Amazon. And they are aware of the communities out there. They love the Merch by Amazon communities. And I don't just mean my group. I mean all the groups. And you guys don't always know who they are. But they're in most of the groups out there. And they read along. And they want the community and the content creators to do well. They don't want us to be frustrated. They don't want us to be worried that we're going to get terminated or suspended. Like that was a real thing in Seattle where like you would see like there was a little emotional. They did not want us to be afraid of losing our accounts,
right?
And then when they heard that we were, like that really affected them, you know. So with these several relations, you know, from sellers and FBA and merch, they're aware that there's things Amazon can't say even if they want to because of business ties and legal, you know, things. But I can say I don't work for Amazon. I can say whatever I want. They know that, so they're like, "Hey, can you tell everybody that there's no throttling?" Like, yeah, no problem. Guys, there's no throttling. There's no throttling. If you think you're being throttled, if you see something weird on your account, document it and send it to support. Okay? Like, I get it, but there's no throttling. So don't blame throttling if your stuff doesn't sell. Or like, I'm not getting as much organic traffic as I got last month. Well, guess what? Amazon didn't owe you what they gave you last month either. So be thankful for what you got. Be thankful for what you're still getting and take control of your business. And don't just sit there and be like, oh, I'm going to upload stuff and Amazon's going to give me free money. Like, that's not what Merch by Amazon is. And I'm probably guilty of presenting it that way as like, oh, completely passive and just do nothing and make money. I get that. But I'm trying to rephrase it as merch is an unbelievable monetization tool or a monetization platform. So if you have any type of audience or you can partner with someone who has an audience who would like to monetize, merch is the absolute best way to do it because it doesn't cost money. It's on demand. You can test all these things. That's how I think people need to approach it. You can monetize it for yourself or for someone else. But it is and it isn't a free money system. You know, you could put up crap designs. That doesn't mean anybody's going to buy it.
Right, 100%. I mean, what I've been thinking about a lot lately, and especially today too, is right, like merch is the greatest arbitrage opportunity that you can possibly imagine because you're not paying anything. It's free. Right. It's literally free. Like the arbitrage on that is ridiculous.
It's too good. That's where people don't believe it. They don't sign up right away. They wait because it does sound too good to be true.
Right.
Like why would Amazon give me a product page where I do absolutely nothing and I get money when it sells? No, that's not true. Like, no, it really is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
you gotta believe it. Yeah, well, you gotta see it to believe it sometimes. So
What's up, Ken? What's going on, man? Yeah, it just well, how did you first come across merch by Amazon? If you don't like, what were you doing when do you remember that at
I
all?
was at our old office. I remember that, and it must have been a press release that went out because it was on several different sites. I read kind of technology sites. I don't read all of them. Some I read more than others, but TechCrunch I remember looking at because I remember their big green logo, the little pixelated logo in the corner. It's the exact same article that Neil Lassen, who I didn't know at the time, he saw, and he was like, "Oh yeah, this is a no brainer." And I've been around Amazon for so long, so I see this. I'm like, wait a minute, I upload an image, they're going to offer it on a T-shirt, print it, ship it, do all the work, and I get a royalty. Yeah, I'm all in. Like it was like when I saw FBA for the first time, I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Like you can't convince me this is wrong. Even at the time, people were trying to say FBA, no, it's not going to be big. Why would I trust Amazon? I can pack my own stuff. I'm like, no, you're missing the point. This is now my stuff is Prime eligible, right? Like I saw it, and I'm not trying to be like I'm clairvoyant or I'm Nostradamus or something, but it was already there. But I didn't see it with other print-on-demand platforms like CreateSpace. Right? I didn't think of CreateSpace as a Prime eligible item that when it sells, Amazon does all the work and gives me a royalty. But that's exactly what print-on-demand books is. And it's the exact same thing with merch. But I tell you, making a T-shirt design is a heck of a lot easier than writing a book. Right? So now it's getting easier. And I can tell you a little, like, it's not that big of a secret. You can look at partners' accounts and see which products are coming next. The products that are coming next are even easier than T-shirts. Right. Think about it. These are full bleed products. It's not something it has to, it's on a shirt outline, it has to fit in within this box and look good. No, full bleed. Just trim a picture and done. You have a product. Like it's getting even easier to where it's almost overwhelming. Like this is so easy. You're like, there's 40,000 images that I want to use. Like, yeah, I guess I got to get started.
Right. Like I played around with phone case a little bit, and that's the biggest difference I've noticed, right? Like, so a T-shirt, you have a canvas that has really select space you can design for. It's a very constrained space. Like with a phone case, you have the entire goddamn thing. So like where a design might not necessarily work on a T-shirt, like a picture of space that has all the stars and everything else, that's totally different on a phone case. Completely different situation.
It's so good.
I don't know. There's like a lot of unique products out there for sure. Like, for example, today I sold a poster for the first time on Redbubble. I was like, oh man, I'll take it though. It was like a $6 royalty. I was like, wow, I'll take it all day. So just knowing that you can put stuff on other products and it makes sales and you never sold it before, it's like you're starting all over again. Because I sold over 10,000 shirts, but when I sell something new, like a different product, like a poster, I feel like oh man, got my first sale on a poster. I'm excited. You know what I mean? So it just there's so much potential, and it's like it's getting more and more exciting. So yeah.
I want to see someone make a poster of all the merch gurus, like a big collage, like a graffiti on the side of a wall kind of poster.
So are we gonna do the last supper with the merch gurus?
There you go. See, that's why you share your ideas, because more minds make it better. Right?
So Chris is going to be Jesus.
Oh no! I don't want.
Chris is Jesus. He has to be that spot right there.
I don't want to fill them sandals, man.
Who's the Judas?
My goodness.
Oh man.
Dude, would you believe it snowed here yesterday? We got 4 inches of snow.
I saw
it melted so fast.
Right, I saw the picture in New York. I mean, New York was under snow
New York
too.
got like 6. We got like 4. I was ready to start opening my pool. Right, that's how like warm it had been, and we had some nice days. And I'm like looking forward to it because we had so many windstorms. Like there's just such a mess in the pool area now. Like half the cover is like blown off, and I don't want like too many leaves to get in the pool. Because to be honest, I mean, this is what I'm actually thinking about. Because I got like some kind of circulation problem in my pool. Because I got like the 2 inlets, right? I got like the one that sucks the leaves, and then the one at the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
And the one at the bottom, I swear it doesn't suck. And I'm a little paranoid. I dive down there, I put my hand on it. I don't want to get stuck, and like not be able to come back up. But I don't think there's any suction on there. So I don't know. I mean, so I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to do merch dojo launch, and I'm thinking about circulation issues that I've got. I mean, it's about 7,500 cubic yards for a pool. I think what I'm just going to do, I'm just going to run my filter and my pump 24/7. hopefully get all the leaves out of there. I don't know, unless you got some other ideas of what I should do with that.
Hit me up with a DM. We can talk about it.
All right, man, I got you.
There he goes. Matt's trying to promote himself on his whole business.
I'm
a little off topic, man, but it just got me
I
off
am
track.
not trying to sell pool business in Massachusetts, bro. Like, trust me, I'm not going bi-coastal.
Just give me some advice. That's all I need. I mean, maybe I just go down there with a plunger and just kind of. I'll just stick like a hose. I used to have like the rigid, like the big snake thing.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get the snake down there. Because we have an in-ground pool, which is kind of rare up here in Massachusetts. A lot of above ground, but our house, the people we bought it from, they built it and they did a real nice job on it. So it's very well built. We got the in-ground pool, which the kids love. So the winters here suck. The summers are great, so we're looking forward to that. But this is the latest we've had snow in a long time. It was a few years ago. I called Mother Nature's bluff. I was like, I'm opening the pool. I don't care. And I'm sure it snowed again or something, but I don't know. We live out here in the country, but hey, I got my gigabit Ethernet so we can stream. We can do all this stuff. And yeah.
I mean, you might be in the country. That's better than we got out here in California. And this is supposed to be like cutting edge. We have more people than anybody.
Well, it's got its pluses and minuses, but
right.
So I'm trying to think, what insider info about merch can I share with you guys, just to.
Well, I asked you about search the other day on Anthony's show, and you gave the answer that I think we all kind of expected, that things are going on. So what I would say is, you guys dropped a hint in the dojo lives about maybe some of the things that are coming in the future for merch. So we know that pop sockets are coming. We know that cell phone cases are coming down the road eventually. We don't know exactly when, but what else is coming up for merch? Well,
there's going to be other products. There's some other products that I honestly can't say because of NDA stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, Matt, I could probably tell you, one-on-one or something. But there's some of the obvious ones that are international, right? Mm-hmm. I think people need to understand that merch is absolutely committed to this platform, where for a period of time, they weren't. All right? If you guys want to feel a little relief, oh my goodness, we kind of dodged a bullet. There was a point in time where merch looked at all of the entire platform and said, you know what? Maybe we just keep our top 500 accounts and close it down for everybody. Right? Because of all the problems.
Right.
Yeah. They're a data company. So they're going to say, where are all the problems coming from? Our top 500 accounts who take this very seriously, who are getting paid $10,000 a month and wouldn't want to jeopardize that at all? Nope. It's everyone else. Yeah. Everyone. It's the long tail of our content creators who are causing problems. And I would argue most of the problems were not intentional. They're people that are just, for lack of a better word, dumb, don't understand copyright and trademark, are uploading Star Wars and Disney parodies. It's not a good idea, right? But they're not making malicious mistakes. And there's people making malicious mistakes who are opening new accounts, trying to snag as many sales as they can and copy and put up inappropriate stuff, get paid, and then they don't care if the account gets shut down because they're going to open a new one because they got 12 accounts on deck.
Right.
They want to get rid of that. So every problem Amazon tries to solve, they're going to solve with data. They're going to look at where the problems are, what data points can they look at to identify the problems ahead of time, all these things. And, they considered shutting it down, and at that point you have to say, look, I put in a lot of work making my original merch course. I wrote a book about it. I started this Facebook group. It could have all been for naught, right? That could have been the reality. Thankfully it wasn't. So, I mean, now that they're so committed to the platform, they really have, they're going to go international. They're going to replicate these warehouses in all of the big markets. And one upload is going to go to all these places. They want our sponsored product money. They just don't have, the system's just not set up to take it. So all these things are coming, and we're going to look back, right? We're going to sit around with the young kids who get in 2 or 3 years from now. And we're going to tell them about, you remember the freeze? They're going to be the freeze? What was that? Dude, remember tiers? Dude, remember upload limits? Remember waiting 18 months to get approved? Remember it's just
so I think you have a unique perspective, Chris, because you were one of the early adopters in FBA. You were one of the people that actually was the biggest advocate about how you should go FBA and get into Amazon, get in early. So explain to people the way that Amazon works, right? So Amazon doesn't necessarily come into things to do things small.
No. And they'll also blow stuff up. They'll blow up a good business to make a great business. Right. But it should not come as a surprise to anybody. And maybe it will. So, let's talk about it. Amazon wants to make about 1 to 2 points on a business model or a business unit.
Yep.
And if they're making more, they're like, hey, we're making too much money. They're going to lower prices and drop fees so that they can get more of the market.
Right.
They're going to pass on those savings so that we can lower the prices on our t-shirts and get more of the market. If they're not making enough money, they're going to raise their fees. And this is what drives me nuts. Oh, it's a money grab. There are people who message me, oh, they raised fees. See, it was all just a big trick, a money grab. So now they can like make all this bank on t-shirts. I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Like, do people not look at, like, because Amazon's a publicly traded company, right? Like, so they have to report their earnings. Has nobody
look at the
looked
dividends Amazon pays out?
100%.
Right?
Like, look at their earnings over the last freaking like 5 years, right? Like, this last year was the first time that Amazon turned a big profit, and it had to do with like tax regulations. It didn't have to do with anything else. It wasn't like Amazon changed their business model.
People don't believe it, right? They just, and I get it. If I don't see it for like year after year after year, you may not believe it. I didn't believe the whole customer first thing for a long time. Now I 100% believe it because I've seen it over and over and over again. But if Amazon's not making money on a business unit, like people say customer first for Amazon, and yes, that's true. But there is a first above that, and that's stay in business.
Yep.
Right? Because if you don't stay in business, you can't help your customers, right? So this is what we see. We see the help your customer, like be best for your customer first. But up here is like, no, stay in business. Stay in business, stay in business. And that's what, if you're losing money, you're not going to stay in business. So they raise fees. They raise fees by like 15 cents here and 8 cents on a small and light unit. And like it's so insignificant, right? It's like, it's pennies, but it's so that they're not losing 2%. Now they're making 1% and they can keep them business going. So like, you just have to roll with the punches, right? Like FBA, when it was early FBA, when I first got in, there were no split shipments. There were no oversized items. There were no prep requirements. I packed exposed saw blades with everything else. Just throw it all in one box. It went to the closest warehouse to my house, and it all sold in like 24 hours because the only FBA seller. There were no long-term storage fees, right? Now we have monthly long-term storage fees. It used to be yearly, then bi-yearly, now monthly. Like it changes. And like I tell you, FBA is not as fun anymore, right? It's not as wide open, send stuff in, kick back, and collect a check, you know? So people in like 5 years from now with merch, is it still going to be an amazing platform? Absolutely. Will it be probably more regulated and more structured? Yeah. Like it might not be as fun as it is now, where it's still a little wild, wild west, right? Where you get in early, you get to try new things.
Right.
So it's the people who get in early now are going to have the most fun and be best positioned, you know, to be like 3, 4, 5 years down the road to understand all the changes instead of coming in and being like, yeah, that's cool, but it doesn't look that fun. It's like, well, it used to be fun, and it's still fun to us because we grew with the platform. But there's so many parallels between FBA and how it started and grew, and the groups and dynamics and people who got in. The same with merch, and I've seen it in the groups. I've seen it. It's interesting, and it is depressing at the same time.
Right, for sure. I mean, RJ can speak to that too because he played around with FBA a little bit. Like, how much fun is FBA right now, RJ?
Well, I got charged a $274 fee today, so it's not too much.
Bro, pull your stuff back from those warehouses.
I know. I didn't even know. I thought I did it already. And
automate them removals, man.
I did.
You had free removals. What are you doing?
No, I just got it. I had like about it's like another 60 boxes returned, and then I went and checked. I was like, all right, cool. But then I got charged $274. So I ain't got time.
That's a lot of nickels, man.
Yeah, for sure. And I was like, man, I could have put $275 back into merch. But
that'll buy a lot of designs, man.
It will.
Dude,
So
I want to help people find designers, right? I think that's I think there's people think you can find a designer who's going to make you awesome stuff for $3, $4, and $5. And I think that's a mistake. But you'd be amazed what you can get for $20 to $30 per design. If you find a good designer who wants to work, like that's a hand draw, like a hand inked, hand colored, layered PSD file that you can play with and repurpose for $20 to $30. But if you're making $5 a shirt, that's 6 sales. Like if you don't think it's going to sell 6 times, why do you even get it made? Right? Like, and I think if you find these designs, they're out there. I've got them, right? I just send, I'm like, dude, it's like, they write back, it'll be this much. I'm like, yeah, whatever, man. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't want him to start jacking the price up on me because I just keep telling him like, I don't, it's no big deal, because I want him happy. Right. Yeah. And I want to pay him to where he's like, hey, this is a really great deal in a relationship.
My latest I think I found him on Instagram. He's an artist. I found him, and he's really good.
So tell that story. Tell you how you found it, how you found this guy, how you reached out, and how you started a working relationship.
So it was I think it was at Behance.net, right? It's out there. It's out there. It's I think it's connected to. So I'm not sure exactly how I found it, but it was between IG and Behance.net. But I did get some good designers from onlinejobs.ph. There was a couple of them that came in, but they were still busy, like working and stuff like that. But I found him, and I was talking to him, and he was trying to charge. He was on Upwork too, because he had his link up to Upwork too as well, and he was trying to charge $50 an hour or something like that. But then I got him down to $22 to design, and he's a pretty good artist. So he's been doing some really good work, and I looked at his IG, and I looked at his other profiles, and he's just really good. And I was like, wow, he's really good. So I talked to him, and then I finally got him down to a good number. So $22 a design, and yeah.
Did you just pay him like over PayPal, or how do you pay him? Is he overseas guy, or is he local?
He's from the Philippines. So, and I pay him weekly. So I pay him like $125 a week or something like that. $120 a week.
Dude, let me ask you this. Are you having him make like very specific designs, or do you have him make stuff that you can kind of repurpose? You know what I mean? Like something you can use more than once, whether it's like I'm going to do all 50 states, or I'm going to do all the months, all the days of the week, or all, you know what I mean? Because then you can really multiply your dollars
there you
by
go.
having to make one. That's the scaling designs thing, right?
Exactly. So my other designer, what he does is look at his designs and see what words he can put in the design. So that design goes a long way. It might be, so that's a lot of people don't understand too. So here's a big thing. So that design costs $22, but I'm breaking it up and putting like different words on it, and I'm scaling it up by like 10 different designs.
Exactly.
So one design turns into 10 designs. So you divide it by $22.
You know, $2.20 per design. And now if people aren't willing to pay that, then I mean, merch is already like the absolutely cheapest, no barrier to entry business model.
Yeah.
So guys, I mean, this is a challenge to the audience. Like, pay for a design. Like, don't be like, oh, I'm going to make my designs free. Oh, I'm going to download GIMP. Oh, I'm going to use an app. Like, I guess, but man, invest in your business.
But
right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it comes down to. Like, invest in some quality designs. And that's why I challenge people to reverse the numbers. Like, look at the royalty you think you're going to charge based on whatever price and shirt you're going to list it on. And say, how many shirts do I need to sell to break even?
Yeah.
And that's it. And if it's like 3 and you're like, I don't know, then why even bother? If you're not even going to sell 3 of something, who even cares?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. And that's another thing too. Like, a lot of people don't understand. Okay. Like, I showed a lot of people how to get to $2,000 a month or $3,000 a month, like on average. I showed a lot of people how to do that. But now to get to the next level, you need to be more unique. You got to be more different. Take that $2,000, $3,000 and reinvest it and do the same exact thing. So then when you get to 3,000, when you get to 6,000, do the same exact thing. Go find another artist, go find another designer, throw them on the team, and scale. So it's very important because
Don't take that merch payout and go buy them new J's, right? Like, what's Jordan's cost these days? Like $220 or something?
They're expensive. I don't know.
That's 10 designs, right? At $22, that's 10 designs. You can buy a pair of Jordans, or you can buy 10 more designs and reinvest in your business. And it is a mentality. And I get it. I see some payout. I'm like, oh man, I got my eye on the Audi R8, right?
All right.
I love it.
Merch Dojo and Audi R8.
But like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm like, no. Like if you think about it, okay, we do this revenue, reinvest it in the business, reinvest it, grow it, right? Like, don't take it out and like, oh, I got this flashy car. Like, who cares? Who cares? Reinvest it and grow something and build. Like, this is the time to like hustle down and a big opportunity thing. That's what I want to see people do. Like, if people need to think bigger, reinvest, not this. Bling bling. I got my J's, ice on the wrist. Like, forget that, man. Like, merch is a bigger opportunity than that.
The most successful designer that both me and RJ know, and he's real quiet. He doesn't talk. He's not all about buying a bunch of things or buying cars or everything else. He's about building out his team. Like, and every single month I talk to him, he's like, yeah, I added a designer here, I had a typography guy here. Like, that's what he's doing right now. Like, and he's an amazing designer. Like, he built his business himself, designing his own shirts and everything else. And then he took it to the next level and he started adding other members to his team.
Yeah.
This is the beginning.
Yeah, he's doing really well, and he's just very quiet. He's like, don't talk about me, guys. Don't talk about my numbers. Don't do it, because he's like, he makes a design. He's like, when I first told him, when he watched one of my YouTube videos in July, I told him, I was like, okay, take a design and make it better. So he takes the design and he makes it better, but no one else can make the design better than he does. So no one can make his design better, and that's his trick.
He has a competitive advantage.
100%.
Right? And everybody has everybody's good at something. I don't care what it is. Everybody's good at something. But dude, I think that'd be something interesting to talk about, because like maybe the listeners will really identify with this. Merch is an opportunity, and there are just so many ways to plug yourself into the opportunity. And we haven't really talked about Dojo, but the one thing I want to say about Dojo is, between me and Neil and Ken and Brian and Mike, we all use merch very differently. And we're all seeing great success with merch, but all very differently, with very different amounts of time spent, like, in the dashboard,
right,
versus time spent looking at outside opportunities. I mean, you can make extensions, you can build a design team, you can build a web-based designer where you hire a team to pour new clip art into that designer every single week. So the members that pay you to use it get new stuff that they can use, and pre-made designs and pre-made templates that they can change and alter and use for clients, right? Like, use for have a template for every sport at the local high school: the volleyball team, the basketball team, lacrosse team, the hockey team. You have a great looking template with a video that says, here's how you change the hockey template to your high school, and here's how you change the colors on the template to your school colors, so that you can now go to the superintendent of sports or whoever runs that stuff, say, hey, I'd love to put your shirt up. I'd love to have a way for your sports team to do a fundraiser through Amazon, and let's have a conversation about that. You can do that. You can do anything, and that's why I could honestly this is honestly something that I do when I lay in bed to go to sleep. I think about merch, because you know how, like, you have great ideas as you're like, there's nothing to distract you. It's dark. It's quiet. Nope. Your brain can finally focus. And I grab my phone and I write these notes down, because I know I'm gonna forget them before the morning. Yeah. You come up with great ideas, and it is an actual strategy. Absolutely flood your brain with a topic, and you're going to find new ways to use it and leverage it and partner and things that other people aren't thinking about. And then you can do what you want to do. Like, not everybody wants to make Chrome extensions. Not everybody wants to run a design company. But you can do whatever you want. So look at all the different people using merch in all the different ways, and say, you know what? I want to do a podcast. I'm going to follow RJ and Matt. I'm going to follow them. You know, maybe I'm going to do my own. Go for it. Absolutely go for it. Provide value to an audience. Start a podcast, right? There's so many ways that you can do it. So I think that's what people really need to think about, is where they want to plug themselves in to the merch by Amazon, the overall merch by Amazon opportunity.
Right. I mean, let's go back to Dojo, right? Like, so considering the fact that both me and RJ are, experienced sellers, we've been on the platform for a while. The thing that opened my eyes up the most, and I knew who Mike Wall was simply because I'd watched an interview he did a while ago, right when I first got on the platform. It was kind of in the back of my head, just in terms of the opportunity there is when you can actually use Merch by Amazon as a fulfillment platform for yourself to do business in the real world, not just depend on organic traffic. But it was one of those things that I kind of really just kind of pushed off to the side. Like, I didn't think about it. Everything was, my concentration was sell on Amazon, get traffic to Amazon, everything else. It was a super eye-opener for me when I heard Mike talk with you guys the other day in terms of the numbers he was doing and what he was doing. Like, completely mind-blown. Like, just ridiculous numbers. Like, just for people that didn't see it, what kind of numbers is he doing?
He did $222,000 in royalties in December alone. He's made well over $1 million with Merch by Amazon royalties, not sales.
Right. And Merch has been around how long?
Oh, 2.5 years.
2.5 years. So $1 million in 2.5 years on a brand new platform.
Right. But what he's done, like, full disclosure, we want everybody to know how he did
100%.
it. He went to local businesses and solved problems, which include either saving money or making money, right? One of the two. And he had a chain store. I can't reveal, like, the name of the store, right, unless he does. If he reveals it, that's fine, but I don't want to reveal for him. that had almost 1,000 storefronts, and he found their problems. And I'll tell you what everybody's problem is. And this goes back to when I was in high school. So this is in 1994. When I go work at a sandwich shop, because I've been begging to work my whole life. I finally turned 16. I can finally work. And they give you a shirt, right? New hires get a shirt. You take it home and you wash it and you bring it back the next day. And like, that's your shirt. And if they didn't have my size, I'm a pretty common size, right? Like men's extra large is a pretty common size,
Right.
but like they don't always carry the women's small, right? So if you have new hires come in and you need to have one of every shirt, and now you have a closet that has all these shirts, and if you got to go to your local screen printer to get them made, and they have a minimum order quantity of 80, and you have to prepay, and you've got all these shirts that never got used the first time, but you have to place a whole separate order for this stupid women's medium that you have to get. It's a pain. It's not the business they want to be in. We just want to make sandwiches. So you go in and say, hey, I know you got like some shirt, needs. What if I put your shirt on Amazon? I'll put it unlisted so nobody else can order it, right? We don't want people like pretending they work here. And whenever you need one, you go buy one for $20. Any color, any size, any cut. They're like, so I don't have to have all the shirts in the back anymore? No. I can order one for $20? Yes. And it'll be here, Amazon Prime. Yeah, done. Yeah, where do I sign? And guess what? They don't even want the money. They just want the ability to order the one shirt at a time.
Yeah.
So like you can keep the money, or if they're like, well, who gets the profit? Be like, well, there's this much royalty, and we can split it 50-50 or 80-20. Like it doesn't matter. Like figure that out. Don't wait till like, well, what do I ask for 50-50? That's probably the biggest like comeback or reply that I have for people in the Merch by Amazon community is they ask questions they don't need the answers to.
Yep.
They don't need the answer. Well, what should the split be? You don't need to know what the split is. You need to get the contract first and
100%.
then be like, take 90-10. Right? Like that 10 is better than that 0.
I really think that's what people don't think about, right? Like this is free money. We don't put anything out for these shirts. Like I've been thinking about that for the last couple of days after listening to Mike and talking about what he's doing. We don't put any money out for these shirts. Yes, we have some designs and everything else, but at the end of the day,
real money. It's
not money.
Yeah.
Like it's mind-blowing.
Don't let me catch you guys in my city trying to make your own. Talk to these small businesses.
You're gonna hit the streets now, man. Yeah, some turf wars out there. I'll get on your turf, man. Come on. I ain't scared. But dude, think about this. Let's make this real for people, right? This is the real deal. If you go and get that first contract and you don't know which way to go with it, here's where I tell you which way to go with it. Give it all. Give it all to them. Give it all to the client, all to the restaurant, all to the business. Why? Because now I guarantee that business is a testimonial. So you can go down to the next business and say, hey, I saved this restaurant this much money, or I helped them make this much money, or every week I write this company a check for this much money on the shirts that they make. Plus, they don't have to do all the other like benefits of not having to have all these shirts. Now that business owner's listening, he's like, okay, and that's the snowball, right? That's the upward spiral. Where all of a sudden it's like, oh, like give me the testimony, like work for free for 3 clients and get 3 awesome testimonials. And now you're in business, right? I would rather have 3 testimonials and walk into the 4th one and not make a dime. And now I'm closing every single time because I got real deal stuff. I call these 3 companies, I make them money.
Yep.
And and when you don't ask for anything, you can say, hey, business owner, can I have someone call you and ask about our relationship and how I saved you money? They're gonna be like, yeah, sure. Like, I don't even know how you make money, dude. Like, hey, don't worry about that. I'm building something.
And people don't think about the fact too, right? In the real world, businesses talk to each other. These business owners talk to each other. They network. It's their entire business. It's how do I get more people into my doors, right? So if you can save this guy money, how like that opens a door for you immediately. I mean, because I own a business, right? Like this is the world I live in.
Yeah. What if so? Take you as an example. Someone did this for you, and then said, "Hey, can you give me any referrals who
100%.
Would also like?" You'd be like, "My man," especially. This goes out to the young kids. The young kid hustlers that go in and do this, I think, have an advantage.
Yep.
Because I think business owners will respect the kid hustle who goes in and says, "Man, this kid is going places. Yeah, I'll help you out." You know. So, but merch is an opportunity for everybody, young and old. It doesn't matter. Like merch doesn't care how old you are. It's dude, I mean, that's why I love talking about this stuff. We come up with new ideas and new ways to use merch. And it's not something like you ain't coming to my hood, man. You ain't coming to my turf and taking like. That's why we can talk about this. How many small businesses are there to think that like, oh no, only Mike Gual is allowed? to go door to door. Like whatever.
I'm not driving
whatever.
to I'm not driving to Banning to sell to businesses. Like it's not
No.
happening.
Like my grandpa gets all the older people to go karaoke with them every Friday. Like you should be surprised. He has the house packed. There's like, I was like, you need to charge like a commission fee or something, like 10%, do something. I was like, he gets the house packed and everybody sings karaoke. So
Dude, make
just stuff like
make
that.
the karaoke shirts. Make them some shirts and give one to your grandpa and say, look, wear this down there and tell all your friends you want a shirt like me. Get it
Yeah.
on Amazon. And now you're selling shirts. Like that's how easy it is. And no one would ever do that if you had to prepay.
Yeah.
No one would do that if you had to like spend money. But it doesn't cost any money. I mean, it would cost you one, right? Like this is a different example, but one shirt
Yeah.
and say, hey, wear it. And on the back, put a QR code with an Amazon link. Like whatever you want to do.
Okay. Yeah. Let's sounds
If
like
you
a
don't
good.
do it, man, I'm coming for your grandpa's karaoke club.
It sounds like a good YouTube video too. So
Well, dude, all right, let's take it next level, right? Let's take it 2.0, right?
okay.
You make a karaoke shirt for your grandpa and his crew, right? Like his squad.
Yeah.
How many karaoke clubs are out there?
Right.
A lot of them.
Right? Like this is the 2.0 things that I think people don't think about. It's like you have now made a karaoke design that you can now change to say instead of San Bernardino, now it says San Jose, and now it says San Francisco, and now it says Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, and you can sell that all over the place. And you can just put it up organically and find people who want to find a San Antonio karaoke shirt, or Google San Antonio karaoke. Find these places, these clubs, these restaurants, these bars, anything, and say, look, I'll even give you the design. Or like, give me some input. Here's 3 templates that I've made. Pick your favorite. We'll customize it for you. And you can offer it to your customers. And whenever it sells, I'm going to give you $3. Like, this is hustle you can do at home. You don't even have to leave the house. Right? Like, it's literally that easy.
That's where I'm
because
saying-
it's so easy,
yeah.
people don't do it.
Yeah, I mean that's where I think people get pigeonholed, right? Like everybody sees that, like, okay, we list a shirt, it goes on Amazon, you make all this money, right? Like all of the opportunities. I don't think anybody's even actually figured out all of the opportunities. It's so early in March right now. Like there are going to be people 5 years down the road that are absolutely crushing the face off it that we're not even talking about it right now in terms of what they're doing. So I mean that's the most exciting thing for me, man. Like this is infancy. Like we haven't even rolled out, UK, Germany. Amazon sells in how many markets? Like
It's like 37 or something.
yeah,
I
it's
forget.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
But
You
think
know?
about this. I talked to a lady. It was just 2 days ago. It wasn't yesterday. It was the day before. And she told me what she did. I don't want to explain exactly what she did because it's kind of like her idea. But she did one thing for one place, and it went really well. And that was like the end of her story. And I was like, whoa, back up. You did one thing that worked really well for one place, and you didn't do it again. And you didn't do that one thing for other places. Like you're crazy.
Right.
Like I can't explain exactly what the detail is, but this is something that you could do for that same person multiple times, as well as find other people who do that and do it for them multiple times, and have a client list where you do this thing for them once a month, and you have a client list where you do it for every one of them once a month, and it involves merch by Amazon, and you're solving a problem for them. They think it's great. You're selling t-shirts. So I wanted her to like run with it. So I said, you need to write that up as like kind of an example, because there's a lot of people out there who could benefit from it, to where this isn't an only you opportunity. So I want her to leverage that into either growing an email list, growing a mastermind, whatever it might be. So she's like, I totally could do that. And I'm like, yes, you can. And I tell you, this is probably one of the most, like the thing that I'm actually good at is giving people confidence. And on the other side, permission, which sounds weird. I never really thought of permission, but a lot of people think they don't have permission to do something until someone gives them like the okay or the approval. And she needed me to tell her it was a good idea and to do it. And if that's my role, hey, I think it's kind of silly. And I would tell that to her face, like, you don't need me for that. You don't. But if mentally, psychologically you do, I'll play that role. I'll give you permission. And I hope I give you the confidence, because everybody can do this. This isn't something that only she can do or only I can do. Anybody can do it, but you have to actually take the action and do it.
You have to do it. I mean, it's a secret with anything, right? Like, I mean, it took RJ actually stopping what he was doing and deciding, I'm making some money here. Like, let's upload some more shirts and see what happens. It took me coming back from my wedding, like going, okay, I see RJ doing something right here. Like, let's try this. And
Peer pressure, man.
Dude, seriously, like you see one person doing it. It's like, well, let's see what happens. Like Henry, the guy that's like 80 years old that I saw you talking about the other day, like, and this guy's doing merch by Amazon and doing well.
Yeah. And now merch, the Merch by Amazon team is interested and wants to reach out to them. So I don't know where they're at. I sent their contact information over, and I don't know if he's the oldest person doing Merch by Amazon. He might be.
Very, very well likely could be.
Yeah, but Merch by Amazon doesn't care how old you are, doesn't care how much money you have. If you put in the work, which is all free work you do at home, you can see some real results with Merch by Amazon. You get out what you put in.
Right? 100%.
But it is something. It's a very scalable business. It's something that you can figure out a system that works and then grow it. So it's just fun. This is just such a fun business to be in. It doesn't seem like work.
Yeah, I've seen a couple people in the Facebook groups that work for Amazon. So I wasn't sure if it's Merch by Amazon or just Amazon in general, but I'm pretty sure they're the same people.
They stay undercover, man.
Yeah, I think.
All right, I'll give you a trick. Everybody that's still listening, I'll give you an absolute trick to find out who works for Amazon. If you suspect someone works for Amazon, look up that name on LinkedIn. Right? They're better at LinkedIn than Facebook, right? Like, go undercover. But hey, I got 60,000 people in my group, right? So good luck. Good luck. You search them all if you want. But I mean, like, don't bother people from Merch by Amazon or anybody from Amazon, right? But I can tell you that Amazon they do read the groups. They are aware of the problems. I think there's a disproportionate amount of criticism, and I don't want to say hate. That's not the right word. I don't think people hate Merch by Amazon. But whining and complaining compared to the amazingness of the platform, the amount of effort and work that the Merch by Amazon team puts in to make the platform as good as it is right now and growing it. I don't think people should complain. I mean, you can complain like maybe you don't like something the way it is, but at the same time, just be aware of how amazing it is. Instead of just like, oh, they suck and they don't do what I want. Like, I ain't got time for that, man. Like, it's the most amazing business opportunity of the human race in all of eternity, right? If you think about it, like, and it's growing. Like, this is uncharted territory. We are making this up as we go, as our Amazon.
I mean, this is really, it's a different business, right? Like, you think about the way that things worked in all the way through, like, going ancient times, everything else, right? Like, you're trading time for money, everything else, right? This is totally different, man. Like, we're not putting anything out. We're not buying anything. Like, our labor is our labor. Yeah. So, like, I don't think people understand that. Like, it's mind-bending. Like, I remember, so for just total sidetrack, right? Like, the moment that I understood merch was when you were on the Merch Minds podcast and you were talking about the things you could do with merch and what it went and what it meant. Completely changed my mind about merch, like 100%. Like, I had seen RJ doing things, but I didn't understand it. I didn't understand until you kind of started to explain some things, like what it actually meant. And then I came home to my wife and was like, we need to do this right now. Like, we need to do this.
Dude, when you're on the ground floor, you have a tendency to psych yourself out. You're like, no, I can't actually be on the ground floor. There must be a reason. I've seen people like find reasons to psych themselves out of an opportunity because they just don't think it could happen to them.
Yeah.
So it is like you have to like realize it and go against your friends and your family, your neighbors who might be like, that's dumb. No, it's like, if you actually believe it, you have to like stick with your guns and go for it.
It's like, as well as too good to be true. That's why a lot of people don't believe in it.
100%. Like, you explain it and it's like, that doesn't make any sense. Where's that? Well, I don't pay money for this. I don't have to buy something.
It's not a real business.
Yeah. It's a scam. It has to be a scam.
My sister-in-law, incredible artist, like actual talented artist. I said, just draw like 20 different pandas and put them on shirts, right? Because everybody buys panda shirts. My best sellers are panda shirts. People are obsessed with pandas. And she's like, well, why would anyone buy it? I was like, don't worry about it. Well, how's anyone going to find it? I said, it's on Amazon. She's like, I don't think anyone will find it or buy it. I'm like, could I just pay you to draw the pandas and I'll put them up, right? Like, just do it. Like, it's that bad where people are like, they don't get it. And she's not, from the Amazon background, like with Prime and FBA, like she doesn't have the exact same background, but at the same time, somebody just got to believe people, right? It's like, okay, you said put the panda shirts up. That's good. All right, I'll try it.
The beauty of merch, right? Like, is it costs you nothing, right? Like, just take the step off the ledge for a second. It really costs you nothing.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy.
That's the beauty of the dojo, man. I mean, like the reason we like waited on the dojo is because the application process, right? That's the number one question I get. Why are you releasing the dojo now? The application process. It used to be 8 months to get approved, right? That sucked. I don't want to get people hyped up for merch and then they can't get approved. So the new application process came out. We said, all right, now it's time to release the dojo. And you guys know it. Like it's too easy. It's too good to be true. It's zero cost business model, which makes it an incredible opportunity for so many more people, right? If you have an FBA background, you're like, okay, like, yes, anybody can do this, but you have to buy inventory. You have to take risk, right? Like you might have 100 units of something that you bought too high or you're stuck with, or you're not approved to sell.
Or you get somebody that's brand new comes in and drops the bottom out on you and suddenly your units are worth nothing.
Yeah. And you don't have a choice. Like, and you've got money invested. So you're like, oh shoot, like now what do I do? Like it was, I mean, FBA and mobile apps made selling scalable because you could source at retail stores, you could buy single units, you could buy clearance. It was difficult to lose money if you kind of paid attention. But you still had to spend money. You still had to put yourself at risk, right? Financial risk. With merch, you have none of that. So like 100 people to one will be able to use merch than will ever do FBA. Right. So I mean that's what I'm excited about, because you guys have followed me long enough to like see that, you know, I like the opportunities. That's what gets me excited. Like all these new opportunities, using it this way, helping these people do that. Who can benefit the most from this new platform and telling them about it. And with merch, like everybody can benefit. I tell everybody that'll listen about merch. And a lot of people, most people don't do anything.
Right. So I have a question for you about the dojo specifically, Chris. In terms of, you know, obviously you guys are going to teach people the basics, right? Put them in a solid footing, teach them how to go through things step by step, what you need to do. But one of the things that you talked about really heavily in December, I mentioned earlier, was how do you drive traffic to Amazon, right? So is that one of the things that you guys are going to be working on in terms of like, how do you drive traffic to your listings? How do you bring people in?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the missing piece right now to merch is like sponsor products, like a dedicated sponsor products section. And it's just because merch was a separate unit. I mean, the Seller Central guys give the merch team so much heat. They give them so much. They just can't stop telling them all of your problems would be solved in Seller Central, right? And they all would. But you know, they launched with their own platform, their own login. It is what it is at this point. So that doesn't exist, the back-end keywords and the sponsor product stuff. But we did want the course to cover everything. So from the newbies, we kind of saw 3 different sections. The newbies, the people who have an account, they understand how it works, but they want to grow. And then the advanced people who are like, okay, I get how this works, but like, how can I take this to the next level? And we got stuff for everybody, which is why I partnered with Neil and Ken and Mike to get the right people in there. And the way I try to describe like thinking of ways to get traffic is a lot of people are thinking about organic, right? Because it's free money. It's literally, in my opinion, the freest money out there. You upload a design, Amazon gives you traffic, Amazon gives you sales, Amazon gives you money. They don't owe us that. But what's driving that is, okay, I'm going to take my supply and I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to hope there's some demand for it, right? Because I'm an economics guy. Like I actually went to school for economics.
Right.
Okay, I've got my supply. I really hope there's demand and kind of leave it there, right? And hope something happens. I would much rather, and this only works because Merch by Amazon is free, right? It's free to put up a listing. Right. It's free to test and try. You can go to the demand and bring your supply, right? And I think that's the mind shift or the mindset that people need to start thinking about. Where's the demand and how can I bring supply to that demand? All right. So this is a perfect example. How many and I want people to think Amazon conferences, just conferences in general, right? Get-togethers, meetups. You know, like go to your city convention center website and see what's scheduled, right? And then say, you know what? I'm going to make a design for them. And you could make a mock-up. You could take their logo from their website, mock it up, and send it to them in a cold email, and saying, I'm wearing your T-shirt. Here's a picture of me wearing your T-shirt. This is something that somebody did. There was like this article written about it, like the best cold email open ever. I'm wearing your T-shirt and have a picture of somebody. It doesn't have to be you. Get a pretty girl, even better. Wearing your T-shirt and saying, "Hey, I would love to make a design. Normally I charge $50 to make a design. I'll make a custom design for you, and then all of your attendees could buy whatever size and color they want. You don't have to deal with any of that. Like, try to solve them a problem, right? So phrase it right. Like, hey, I understand your problem of ordering t-shirts and fulfilling and prepay and all this, and I'll do that for you. Dude, I had Jim Cockrum's CES conference in Orlando last year.
Mm-hmm.
I made his t-shirt, and not because I'm his buddy. I made it and I just sent it over like, hey, if you want, you can use this. And they used it as the shirt. It wasn't because it came from me. Anybody could have made a shirt that said, prove it.
Right.
That's kind of his thing, and sent it over. And they're like, hey, this is great. Thanks so much. And all of a sudden you're going to sell a ton. There's
so many opportunities. Like, I mean, just
that's the thing.
Like, real world example, right? Like, you just gave one. Like, I had one that happened to me this weekend. So we sell on Etsy, and we do a lot of stuff with like dogs and rescue dogs and everything else. We had an animal shelter in Long Island reach out to us, cold email, just go, hey, we want to partner with you guys to make some shirts. And I flipped them from Etsy over to Amazon, explained the Amazon business, explained to them how because they were already set up for an Amazon wish list, but they didn't have affiliates set up. So it's like, hey, let's do all this. Let's get you set up with an affiliate account. Let's get you guys set up with a t-shirt account. Let's get all this set up. Like, it's just free money. Blew their mind.
Yeah.
Blew their mind.
And you're helping them. Now with a nonprofit, you might give more of it to them.
Correct.
But there's another thing in that story that I think people are going to overlook. And that's how terrible places are at monetizing, right? Yep. So they're familiar with Wishlist and the affiliate program and probably Amazon Smile, where if they actually register as a 501c3, then anybody that actually knows that can donate like 1% of their sales. Like, we're talking 1%, right? There are so many easier ways to monetize when you're an organization, especially like a nonprofit, like an animal shelter. They should have a frame. You can buy this on Amazon. It's a t-shirt frame. It's like $20. And they should buy one of their own t-shirts. So get a design made like through you. They'd probably rather you do it than manage their own account.
Right.
Make them design. They order it. They put it in the t-shirt frame. They put it on the wall. Whenever anybody comes in, and right underneath has an Amazon link and says, buy our shirt, support our animal shelter. And every shirt that you buy, we get $9 and price it at $25. And they will literally get $9 every time a shirt sells. And so people will come in and be like, hey, that's good. I can do that. And have all the employees wear the shirt, right? Like, it's just that easy. But that does take a little time. It takes some time to set up, but it doesn't take money.
No, that's the thing. It's like, it doesn't take money. There's no risk. Like, it's just time. It's your own time.
Yeah. And once you do it successfully for one, how easy is it to get the next one? Because now you've got the picture, right? Here's a picture of the North Attleboro Animal Shelter. And I'm going to go to the South Attleboro Animal Shelter and be like, hey, we did it for the North. Like, you in? Like, it's not even a sales pitch right at that point.
I mean, what you spoke about earlier about like not taking a whole lot of money or not taking any money to get the relationship, 100%, that's where my mind is, right? Like, I want the relationship. I want to be able to go to other animal shelters because guess what? There's a lot more than just one animal shelter out there that I can go, hey, guys, are you interested?
And you can contact them all through the internet, right?
Yes.
Like, this isn't only within 10 miles of my house. I'm not driving that far. You can do all this over the phone, all this over email. Even you don't even have to talk to people. Like, no one even wants to talk to anybody anymore.
A lot of good information being given right here.
I know. Maybe I'm talking a little bit too much. I had a little bit of wine before this show started.
Nah, for sure. Let's see. Well,
a drunk guru, man.
let's see if anybody has any questions from the audience. You guys got any questions at all? You guys got any questions for Chris?
Dude, the audience is all out there making money. They're hitting the streets already, man. They're taking our ideas and running with them.
I know.
Let me fill the space a little because there's always a little bit of a downtime right now, right? So one of the things I've been thinking about, Chris, is when we go international, right? We have to deal with more than just United States trademarks. So how do you see that changing things for Merch by Amazon, right? Like, so when we're in the UK, we're in Germany. Like, there are other trademarks out there. Like, they have countries, they have their own particular trademarks.
I don't know exactly how it's going to go down. The stuff that I do, I'm not worried about U.S. trademarks. And it's not like, oh, well, it's got like some German trademark. Like, and I'm not a trademark expert, but I got to believe there's a lot of overlap, right? Like, if there's not going to be something that's weird and only trademarked in Germany. And, you know, I want people to remember Amazon is not out to get people. Okay. So it's not like, oh, you had a shirt selling really well for 8 months. We put on Amazon Germany. It had a trademark violation. You're banned for life. Like, that's not what's going to happen. You know, it might be that they take your stuff down. It might be that like they keep track and like, yeah, you had like 27 violations when we opened Amazon Germany. Amazon doesn't care. They're not emotional. They're not out to get you. They're going to look at the data and see who the problem players are. But I mean, that's in the terms of service. If you list it, you have to be within compliance in other international marketplaces. I don't want people to be scared to death to where they're like searching patent and trademark offices in 87 countries before uploading a shirt design. But that helps if you're making your own artwork. If you're hiring designers to make you fresh stuff. If you're not looking at other people's stuff and improving it, right, or changing the font, right? Like, don't do that, guy. Like step up a little bit. I get it, but at least step up a little bit and make it a little bit original.
I mean, we have Ken in the chat right now saying other countries tend to be harder to get trademarks registered. So, I mean, that's a positive for us, right? Like, because in the U.S., trademarks are a little bit ridiculous.
Basically, just saying that the government is here to make money off of us, off of stupid trademarks. That's
right, 100%.
100%. Here's the first
question.
Ken's
going to take down all the trademarks, man. He's the king of the watchdogs.
Here's the question. So when is the next? Would you be able to tell us when the next item is going to be released?
I honestly don't know. I can tell you this, that when Amazon does roll out new products, they roll it out slowly. They roll it out to trusted partners, whether those are like branded partners or just trusted accounts. So you can do things to put yourself in the position to get new products, and that's be an awesome trusted account. When I say trusted, that doesn't mean you have insider info. That means that you make them a lot of money, including making yourself a lot of money, as well as not causing a lot of problems.
Right.
That Amazon's going to look at you as this is a good account. I like this guy. This guy follows the rules. Like, and everybody should want to do that. No one should be like, oh, I don't know if I can get there. Like, that should be your ultimate goal, is to get there. Like, be a trusted partner, and you're going to get access, to things earlier than others. And that's it, right? You might get like Pop Sockets 2 months early, right? Great, but whoop-de-doo, right? Like, don't worry and be like, oh, I didn't get Pop Sockets early, because I use this example all the time. It's from The Incredibles, where like the Syndrome guy, he catches all the good guys, and he's trying to reveal his master plan. And he says he's going to build weapons. And he's going to sell them to everybody, so everybody's a superhero. And he says, when everybody's super, then no one is. And I see that day after day. I feel it myself, right? I love having early access to things. And once everybody has it, it's not special anymore. The coolness has worn off. Even though it's still just as cool, it's just now that everybody else has it. And I fight myself with that, because it shouldn't matter what anyone else has. So I'm admitting that I struggle with that, so that anybody else that struggles with it doesn't struggle. Like try to get over it and realize that getting Pop Sockets in April versus getting Pop Sockets in August doesn't matter. You still got Pop Sockets and get to work, right? Yep. And Ken's laughing at me because he knows that I've been lagging on Pop Sockets, right?
Right.
So I shouldn't have said that, but but Ken's definitely laughing at me.
We're getting Chris to admit some things he shouldn't be saying. Hold on.
Watch out.
Let's slip some other things in here. Hold on. Let's get some other questions in.
One more beer. Go get another beer real fast.
Go.
Wait.
I have 3 fridges down here, man. I got lots of beer.
Okay. So how do you do an unlisted link? Okay. So while on the back end of Amazon, before you put it live, it'll give you the option to do private or unlisted or something like that. Those 3 right there. Or you can put it live on Amazon. So that's how you do that.
Yeah, for sure. You while we're sharing information, when's Europe coming?
When's my what?
When is Europe coming? When are we going to get that international shipping? I mean, if you're going to admit one thing, let's get 2.
I don't know about international shipping, other than I think they've got a better grasp on what it takes to run everything. So it's like I said at the beginning, they will blow up a good business to make a great one. All right. So the European pilot thing was working, but it was good, but it wasn't great. So they shut it all down, scrapped it, and they're going to go back and make it great. And that's just the way Amazon works things. So sometimes it's not on the schedule that we would like. But Amazon's busting their butt. They want that international market, right? Like, they buy T-shirts all over the world, but they're dealing with problems that aren't the same as other problems, like building a fulfillment center where we all send inventory versus like Kornit's only got so many printers that Amazon can buy.
Right.
Or you bought them all, right? Like slow down, we'll make some more, but you bought them all. There are limits to some things, right?
What's our next question?
So
RJ?
do you think there's going to be a freeze this year?
I don't. I'd be surprised. I think they're way better prepared year after year. I think each year has surprised them with demand. But Amazon is, like I say, a data company. They're experts at forecasting. So I'm pretty sure after the past 2 years, or 2.5, that they will extrapolate and maybe bump a little more than they thought before, and be absolutely ready for Q4 and what it entails. And if not, it's still a good sign that holy smokes, this is even bigger than we forecasted, which is good for us. So it's one of those things. Like I don't care what anyone says about the Amazon, FBA, CreateSpace, merch, any of these things. Any of the bad things I always see as good. And I'm not just trying to be like a cheerleader and rah-rah and it's always positive, but all the bad things actually mean it's good. Like if they can't keep up, it means there's incredible demand and we get to be a part of that. And I just rather look at it that way instead of complain,
Right.
So to each their own. There's people who look at reasons things will work and reasons things won't. And then people are free to do what they want, but man, the opportunities just surpass anything to actually complain about.
Do we think, so my own question here, do you think we're going to have a West Coast printing facility? Obviously, we have one in Texas. We have one in Pennsylvania. It just seems to kind of make sense, right?
I think so. And, forgive me if I've told this to you guys before, but there's 3 things Amazon wants to grow the business. They know what the customer wants. Customers want lower prices. They want faster shipping. They want more selection. And how can you lower the price and get stuff to their customers faster? Build warehouses closer to the customer.
Right.
So you're going to see things like that. It'll be based on data, like where's the demand? They'll be like, to which square mile should they be building on, based on how close the customers are and expected demand and all these things. So will they build a bunch of big ones versus a bunch of small ones? I don't know. But I mean, they'll solve that problem so that the customers will get the benefit. They'll get cheaper stuff and they'll get it faster.
Faster. That's the thing. Faster.
What's next question? It says the different IP addresses logging in to your account. Like, how do you feel about that? Like,
if they're different, you got nothing to worry about. If you got multiple accounts on the same IP address, I don't think you have anything to worry about at all. Because I mean, multiple family members have the same. They can have merch accounts. I will tell you this: it is a current red flag, and it might not always be a red flag, to have multiple Merch by Amazon accounts deposit to the same bank account.
Right.
So if you're in the same house, like if you're husband and wife team, I recommend separate bank accounts. If you only have one, sorry, go get another one. Or at least contact Amazon ahead of time. Get something like in email just be proactive to say, look, we have separate accounts. We don't want to set off any red flags, but I would still get the separate bank accounts for now. I know that at least for a while that was a major red flag because it's a data point, right? So Amazon's identified, hey, if there's multiple accounts depositing to one account, that's a flag or an example of something that's probably a problem. Even if it's like, you and your wife, and you're like, it's just us, Amazon. It still sets off the computers. So I wouldn't do that. But you can certainly have multiple accounts in the same family. It's not a big deal.
Like if you have like a VA uploading like your merch designs, you think that's okay? You think that part?
People are a little paranoid about that. I don't think Amazon is out to get anybody that does that. Amazon, if they could tell you directly, they would be like, if you're using a VA, you better be darn sure that what they're uploading is legit. And they would look at you very sternly when they said that, because probably one of the biggest problems is when people trust other people to upload to their account. People need to take responsibility for their account and the designs that they purchase from design services, and keywords and titles and descriptions that they purchase from design services. Because just because the service does it doesn't mean it's legit, right? There's a lot of them popping up. There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of bad ones, right? And the bad ones I don't think are intentionally bad. I think they're making mistakes. They don't have quality control, like good enough quality control in place right now. So you don't want to put your account at risk based on someone else's lack of quality control. And that's probably one of the biggest problems that exists with Merch by Amazon right now. So if you're going to let a VA do it, let a VA do it with the designs that you have approved and the titles you've approved, the descriptions that you've approved, and just let them do the work versus, hey, so-and-so is going to send you to some designs, upload to my account for me. I don't think that's a great plan. That's probably going to lead to some problems.
For sure. So somebody wants to know, can they pay with Merch Dojo using their PayPal account? You guys take PayPal?
Yeah, there's a PayPal checkout at the end. I don't know what it looks like, but I know some people have been using PayPal.
Okay.
So not to put the pressure on Merch Dojo, but the marketer and salesman in me just wants to remind everybody that a launch, this is the launch is always going to be the lowest price with the most bonuses, right? So if you wait, will you be able to buy it later? Yes. We're probably going to close it down like at least for a month, and you won't be able to buy it for a period of time. Will you be able to buy it in the future? Of course. It's not like we're going to pull it forever, but you're never going to get a better price and more bonuses than buying now. So it will be open through Thursday. We're doing a webinar tomorrow. I think if you just go to Merch Dojo, you'll find information about the webinar, and then I'm going to do a marathon live stream on Thursday. You guys are welcome to come on. We're probably going to talk for like 10 straight hours on Thursday about merch, and after that, the doors are actually going to close. But it does have. I mean, I feel like we almost didn't answer the question before. Like, does it have stuff for the advanced people? And that's why we've got people like Mike and Ken and Neil, who and I feel my best strength is helping people brainstorm with how they can leverage merch. We talked about several ideas here on the show tonight, to where people can say, "Oh, I get it. I see these new opportunities, new ways I can use merch to really grow," and that's what people are going to get. So all the way from the beginning, all the way to the advanced, there's going to be something for everybody. And the software alone, right? Just 3 pieces of software: my merch research extension, which is $20 a month, my Shopify extension, which is $10 a month, and my Celio website, which is $30 a month. That's $620 a month, if I'm doing the math right. Merch Dojo's under $600, right? So just that software, if you're using that software and not buying the dojo, you're crazy, because you should cancel that software, get the dojo, and have it for the entire year, plus every other bonus, plus all the webinars with me and Ken and Neil and Mike, everything else. We almost priced it too low, but we wanted to price it very affordably. Like, a lot of these courses are $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 for private label stuff and wholesale stuff. No, we took it down to $600, right? Like, that's like $20 a day for a month, and you're going to learn all this stuff about Merch by Amazon. So that's the sales pitch. I'm like a very low pressure sales pitch guy. If you want it, great. If not, honestly, I think you're going to regret it. But don't regret it for long. We'll open it again in the future. But you're probably going to pay more, and you're not going to get as many bonuses. That's all. That's the only warning. That's the sales pitch.
We also have the link right here down below in the description too for the Merch Dojo. It's the first link right there.
So you got a bonus offer you're doing with it, or are you guys going straight up?
Straight up, because we didn't have no information on it, and a lot of people, they're gonna. Yeah, I don't know what to say.
I know what to say. I mean, I'll say it for RJ. I mean, we had a lot of people pushing back on some of the marketing at the early stages in the dojo, and this is before we knew Ken was involved in it. Before, like, I know you, Chris. Like, I know what you're about, and I'm sure that it was going to be great. But it was like, it's hard for me to step out and go, hey, like, this is something you should do with that information. So, like,
I respect the criticism of the marketing.
For sure, right? Absolutely.
And I got messages, people saying, dude, I can't believe so and so would say something. I'm like, I honestly, 100%, like, hand up, like, did not see any posts or anything that I thought were overly hateful or overly critical. I got that people thought they were overly marketed to. I understand that people thought we maybe presented it as a get rich quick scheme, which I don't think we did that. We did teach it as a passive income model, which it is, but you do have to front load the passive income model. You do the work up front, and then the passive income comes. And one of my favorite posts was, I wish I sold as many shirts as I saw Merch Dojo ads.
I seen that one. I started laughing.
I thought that was hilarious, right? Like, I liked it. I was like smashing that like button. Like, I get it. Like, some people thought that was like a hateful or a mean-spirited comment. I didn't see it that way at all. Like, I totally agree. Like, we threw a lot of ads at everybody. And we're testing new things. We're retargeting. We're using Facebook Messenger bots. What we did, I think people should kind of analyze and be like, oh, that was interesting. Oh, maybe I could use the Facebook bot to retarget my shirts if I'm using a landing page or a Shopify. Like, you can learn from some of this stuff, because if we were in your face, hey, we were able to pay money to get in your face because we had something we wanted to sell.
100%.
And if you have something to sell, whether it's a merch shirt or whatever, hey, take those things and be like, hey, I'm going to use those things to get my shirts in front of people. Like, and that's the way people should look at it. But I took absolutely nothing personal. Absolutely not. I don't see anybody. I didn't make any enemies with this. If anything, I made friends with this.
So I'll throw a little cherry on top, and I'm sure RJ will do the same. If anybody wants to sign up through a link, hit me up on the side, let me know, and I will give you 3 hours of free coaching. Like 100%, I will tell you exactly what I'm doing, how we do it, AMS. I think I know more about AMS than pretty much anybody else on the platform because I've done more with it. So if you guys want to do it, hit me up. RJ, you gonna step in there?
I taught Matt how to do AMS. He just learned on his own. He got bored and started learning it. That's all he did.
Wow, man, fighting words.
I'm just kidding. No, I'm always down to help out. If you guys sign up through the link, whatever. I'm always, you know how I am. Like that's how I am. Just like that's how we grew this audience.
100%.
People watch us because we're real. Like that's how we came up with real talk. It's like if it doesn't work for me, then I'm not going to show you. But if it works for me, then I'll show you. So that's what it's like the business model is here.
Right.
So
yeah, I got one more thing I want to talk about. I know it's important to RJ too. Something we've been talking about since we crossed that 10,000 mark in our group is a way to give back to the community. So one of the things we've been doing is, we showed our shirts at the beginning. These are shirts from our own members that have sent them to us. But I think one of the things that we really want to do, and I wanted to bring it up to you on this live is, let's take merch and turn it into something else and give it an opportunity to give back to the community. So one of the things we want to do is we want to do some kind of either a t-shirt or merchandise drive or something to give back to the community, right? And just have every merch seller, donate one shirt. Like find a cause, find something, and let's do this, right? Like there's a great opportunity to get positive momentum, positive press for Merch by Amazon, and it literally very little cost.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is like with the community, like we built it over 10,000. I know in my community, the kids, like some of the kids, like they don't have nice shirts. You know what I mean? I grew up without having a nice shirt, so I know they grew up. I'm from here. So I know for a fact there's some kids that don't have nice shirts. But if there's a way that we can figure out 10% of, well, you know what I mean, of the group of 10,000 people or 10% of Chris, like if you want 100 shirts to the community is good. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just, I don't know, 200 shirts, 300 shirts, and just keep on building it up. And we'll actually, like, I'll make videos of like the shirts that I'm giving to the kids or go to the principal's office and like, hey, let's hold something today. And I want to give all the kids free shirts, something like that.
You could run a contest like they do like pizza day or pizza party for like the class that wins, and like classes get really excited about something. You could do like a t-shirt contest, and Amazon has done this, and this is so fun. Like Amazon has done things, and I tell you, they're a data company. So what do? They look at the data of which schools require the most like government lunches or something to find the most needy school, right? Like find the most needy school by the data, and they find it. And then they go down there and they give them shirts. And this might sound silly, but to a kid, this is amazing because they have designers. They have people that work on the Merch by Amazon team who have designed for very famous athletes who have like a very good resume of things that they've done in the past. So when you go up to, I got to make sure I don't say too much. When you go up to a kid and say, hey, that shirt that you're wearing, you know who designed that? Someone who designed for the best player in the NBA, right? I'll let you figure out what name that is, right? Because I don't want to reveal too much. But they've got people who have designed for companies that have designed for, not Michael Jordan, but like the best current player in the NBA. Let's say that. That means so much to a kid to be like, oh, no way. Like they feel a connection, even though it's through merch, to the designer, to the athlete, but they still feel that connection. And just a t-shirt, right? Because some kids, like you're in poor neighborhoods, they don't have, like just getting a nice new t-shirt means a lot to them. So I mean, I love what you guys are doing. I mean, any way that I can help you guys, just say it. If I can get you more awareness or share or we can cross post and cross promote stuff, I'm happy to do it. So
we got to figure out something though. Any type of like a event or something like that. I even talked to my cousin. We're friends with the local bars here, and we could throw like a taco event and have the kids and give the kids shirts. Like we'll throw a free taco event, have the kids eat, have the parents eat, and then give the kids a shirt. And we've done it before with taco events. We give the community a free taco event because they can't, like, you know what I mean? Just give away free tacos. So
everybody likes free tacos, man. Dude, that would make a great shirt. Free tacos. Well, dude, we are breaking records, man. We've been on here an hour and a half already. I think that's a new record.
So that's an hour and a half. We're doing pretty good. So yeah, well, get the idea. So I think I think we're coming to an end, right? That's what
I think Chris definitely has some other things. He's a busy man, so I'm sure he has other things. He's got a family he's got to pay attention to.
My kids are upstairs. They're probably barely hanging on.
Right,
Hopefully
for sure.
Daddy comes up and says goodnight before they fall asleep. So
For sure. I just want to thank everybody for signing on. We have the best audience, period, out there, like not even close. You guys are so much fun. I appreciate the shit out of you. Thank you, Chris, for coming on. Thank you, RJ.
Yeah, hey, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Means
Thanks,
a lot.
guys.
Appreciate it.
We'll chat soon.
All right. Thank you, brother.